Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Ethical Investing with the Urban Hippie. On a previous episode we actually discussed the 4 fundamental principles of property investing, the 4 foundation principles if you like, to make sure that we are extremely risk averse. And so what I'm going to discuss today is the insurances or the hedging techniques that actually accompany each one of those fundamental principles. And again, this is to make sure that no matter what happens, we are not risking capital. And that's the most important. Capital is your sweat equity. It takes a long time and it's hard work, as you already know, to get that deposit, to start investing or to buy that first home. So what we want to do is ensure that we don't lose that. And so we're going to have a look at some what we call hedging techniques today. And these are the insurances that we would take out. As I said, there were 4 fundamental principles in a previous episode. Those were, number 1, buy long or never sell. Number 2, yields should cover your holding costs. Number 3, the capital growth should exceed the cash rate. And number 4, vacancy rates should not exceed CPI, or the Consumer Price Index. So now we're going to have a look at the corresponding insurances that we should be taking out to hedge each one of these. Okay? Number 1, buy long or never sell, which means if we're holding for life and creating generational wealth, we get life insurance. Okay? Now I know that most of us have life insurance on our superannuation, but that's not enough. Okay, so each time you buy an investment property, one of the techniques that we use in investing is doing it interest only. And this is to reduce our costs up front so that they're unable to be covered by our holding costs or rents. So that means that the principal on the debt should be covered under our life insurance policy. This means that the moment we depart this world, our estate or our heirs gets the property free and clear title. Now, we should be actually doing it if we're in a relationship, if we're married or we have partnerships, that the principal on the debt is insured under a life insurance policy to both parties. The one thing that is absolutely assured in insurance in this level is that no one gets out alive. So we must have life insurance policy. The next one, number 2, yields, covering our holding costs. Well, yield is income. So we want income protection. So in property investing, when we want to move away from active or sweat equity income to passive income. So the passive income is achieved eventually in yields from or rents from our property. So we want to get income protection on our active income. This is to ensure that our serviceability stays neutral, and we're going to discuss that in another episode. Okay, so number 2, income protection, vitally important. Number 3, capital growth must exceed the cash rate. Well, this is actually on the property itself. So the insurance that we want to take out then is building insurance. Okay, again, this is not a grey area, this is black and white, it must be done. Okay, so we must have building insurance. Now, one of the mistakes I often see people make, and it concerns me so much, that when I'm sitting down with someone on a face-to-face meeting and I discover that they have, say, a unit or an apartment or a townhouse, and they think that the body corporate is covering the building insurance, no. Body corporate covers common areas only, in most cases. So this is really important that you have your own building insurance. Now, to give you an example of this, if there's a hailstorm and you're on a 2nd floor and there's a floor above you and the damage comes through the roof, yes, the body corporate will cover that. But if the water damage comes down and into your ceiling and damages your walls, that is under your insurance, not body corporate insurance. So you must have adequate cover. Always have your own building insurance. Okay, and number 4, we said that vacancy rates should not exceed CPI or the Consumer Price Index. Well, this means that we must be rented. Our buildings or properties must be tenanted. So we must have landlord's insurance. Okay, landlord's insurance is to cover the damage that's done by our tenants. Building insurance is to cover the damage that's done by act of God. we would consider it in the insurance industry. These are things like storms and fire and flood and all those sorts of things. Income protection insurance is to cover us in case we lose our active income. And life insurance is we need it on the principal of the debt. Okay, so we'll cover those once more. We want life insurance on the debt only. We want income protection insurance to make our serviceability neutral. We want building insurance, and we want landlord's insurance. On each one of those we'll go through in a little bit more detail in another episode, and I'll actually introduce you to our insurance brokers. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Cheers, guys.